The oil is beginning to run out. Well, certainly if you live in Nigeria. This was in Business Day. It says, when the wells run dry, Nigeria's oil and gas sector faces a reckoning. Like, this is so typical of how we look at shit. It's like it's the sector that faces a reckoning, isn't it? What about the jobs, guys? What are we going to do when the wells run dry and these corporations are no longer able to turn a profit in the economy? Like, that is how this stuff is reported. It's through a prism of capitalist quarterly reviews and outlooks. Like, that is how. When the wells run dry, Nigeria's oil and gas sector faces a reckoning. The sector, guys. The sector faces a reckoning. Not society, not civilization as we know it. Might come to a grinding halt when the police can't afford to put the petrol in their cars to come to your house as you're being savaged by the guy across the road that you used to say good morning to. Like, you used to say good morning to this guy as he would step out and pick up his paper or nip out for his coffee. But now that the co-op has run out of ready meals for him, now that the Esso has run out of bread and milk, and the Gregs on the side of it can't get their staff to come in anymore because the last two got murdered for a steak bake. Now that he and his children are hungry, like 5 days hungry. Well, suddenly now, good morning has taken a well-earned break. Hasn't it? Because there's been lots of good mornings, if you think about it. Hasn't there? There's been thousands of good mornings. Of mornings where you stepped out your front door and you said, hey, what's up? You know, how's it going? All right, morning. There's been a lot of those. Where he headed out of his house and he didn't try to murder you for what's left in your cupboards. Yeah, there's been a shit ton of those. It's time they had a break. Good mornings are on furlough now. Now is time for some bad mornings, Aid. When fucking 5 days hungry Carl from over the road and his children come and kick in your door and beat you to death for the last of your 2-minute rice packs so they can serve that up with some fucking dog food and some freshly mown lawn grass on the side for presentation. And anyway, that is not anywhere in this article. No, it's the sector, guys, that faces a reckoning. It's the Nigerian oil industry that faces a reckoning. It says, the sun is setting on Nigeria. I can't do the accent, man. I can't. Like, there's something a little bit like off, isn't there? There's like a bit, I don't know, like that a white British guy attempting to do a Nigerian accent. The sun is setting on Nigeria's oil industry. Once the heartbeat of the nation's economy, a beacon of wealth and power, Nigeria's oil sector now stands on the brink of collapse, suffocated by years of mismanagement, corruption, and geopolitical instability. It says, for nearly 7 decades, Nigeria's oil fields were a crown jewel in Shell's global portfolio, a strategic asset that underpinned the wealth of one of the world's largest oil companies. Today, Shell is pulling out, selling off its onshore operations to local companies that lack the financial muscle and technical expertise to sustain them. Then it says oil production has plummeted by nearly 50% as well. The question is no longer if Nigeria's oil will run out, but when. The government's response: talk of diversification into natural gas rings hollow. Nigeria may hold the largest natural gas reserves in Africa. Wow. I mean, you got to be careful there, guys. Got to be careful bragging about that. Because if you keep walking around saying, oh, we got the biggest natural gas, like, you will either have Putin fucking ploughing in to denazify the place, or you're going to have the West constructing some sort of reason to go in there. Take it all. I mean, mark my words, guys, right? There is no way that this is going to not explode into awfulness. It's just like you've got this country rich with natural resources. In this case, it's oil and natural gas. You got a shaky government, right? And then over here, in the backdrop, you've got who? You've got the United States and Russia. Like, how is nobody going to invade Nigeria, right? For their oil and their gas. Like, it's going to happen, isn't it? Someone's going to invade Nigeria. Like, what do we think is going to be the pretext for that invasion, guys? What is going to be the bullshit pretext? Like, are we going to get some Nigerian hijackers fly some planes into American buildings? Is that what's going to happen? Is it? What's it going to be this time? Is the government of Nigeria somehow going to end up connected to the October the 7th festival massacre? What is it going to be? What is it going to be? Because you know it's going to happen. You know, because you can't just have a shit ton of oil and natural gas and just be walking around it like you're a fucking 19-year-old glamour model in hot pants and a crop top just sauntering through the prison yard. It's just reckless behaviour, frankly.